I got in a few fights while I was incarcerated. And I'm not ashamed to say this. I didn't win very many of those fights at all. In fact, I got my ass kicked quite a few times throughout the entire course of me being locked up. It's just part of being locked up. You're gonna have to fight. And win or lose, you just gotta go. Because if you don't fight and somebody does try to fight you in prison, that's gonna make you look like a bitch. And if you look like a bitch when you're in prison, that's gonna make your time really, really hard. If somebody tries to fight you while you're locked up and you don't fight for whatever reason, you're scared or anything like that, it's not gonna be good for you. Because other inmates are gonna see that and they're gonna think that you're weak. And you do not want to appear weak while you're in prison. Because dudes will try to take advantage of you. They'll try to take things from you, including maybe your commissary. They may try to steal things from you. It's just not good. So if while locked up, somebody does try to fight you, they disrespect you, and it's a situation where you cannot possibly defuse this with any kind of pleasantries. If you can't defuse the situation, and you gotta fight. You gotta knuckle up and you gotta go. Knuckle up and you gotta go. I've spent most of my adult life locked up, and throughout all of that time, I've gotten in quite a few fights. Fights that I absolutely regretted getting in afterwards as I was bleeding and leaking from my face and my ears. Yeah, I've literally been bleeding from the ear, like literally. I thought a guy ruptured my freaking eardrum. He beat me so bad. But even with that, I have won a few fights. I mean, I am no tough guy here, and I make no illusions about that. But one thing about it, when it's time to go, Joe will go. And that alone, win or lose, will get you respect while you're locked up. I will never forget this one time while I was locked up. There was this kid. I mean, he was younger than me. I was 26 years old. He must have been like 20, 21, I don't know. But I hated this kid, and he hated me. And I was tattooing and I was doing my thing, and that's how I was surviving. And this kid was a snitch. He was hopping on other people's cases, hoping to get a time cut in whatever way he could possibly do that by going to court and testifying against other motherfuckers. So just for that alone, I absolutely despised this guy. But for whatever the reason is, maybe it was, I don't know. Me and this kid just did not get along. And every day, for like a year, we were in each other's face, butting fucking heads. And he knew when it was time, we were gonna fight. And I knew that when that time came, I was gonna fucking punish this kid. Every day we would have altercations, arguing. I mean, every day it was just right there, ready to go. And then one day, it finally happened. It did. I found out he told on me for doing some tattoos. And this is the craziest thing about the situation. I was doing a tattoo. When you're locked up and you're tattooing, you're gonna know every single sound, because as you're tattooing, you're gonna be listening for everything. You better have somebody looking out for you while you're tattooing, but at the same time, you have to also watch out for yourself. And one of the sixth senses, oh my God, that just came out absolutely speech impedimented. But one of the sixth senses that you will pick up as a prison tattoo artist is your keen sense of sound, like hearing. So when the cell block doors open, or certain doors open in the cell block, you may have a front door and a side door. You're gonna know the difference between those two doors because you hear them all the time. And you'll know that when you hear that sound for whatever door that is, you'll know where there is potentially a CO coming into the block from. So I'm tattooing, I hear the sound of the door, I immediately put everything away, clean up, we're not doing anything. Hey, what's up? And the CO came right into my cell. And the crazy thing about this is this CO was actually one of the very few awesome COs that I met while incarcerated. This guy had so much respect for me, and I had so much respect for this guy, but he literally came right in my cell. He said, "Joe, listen to me. Some motherfucker in here literally just hit the intercom button on the wall, which when you hit this button, it's inside the cell block. When you hit this button, it immediately goes to the guard booth." He said he told the guard booth that you're in here tattooing. It's not even so much the COs you have to worry about. It's the punk motherfucking inmates who will hate on you that can be even worse than the COs catching you, because these snitching inmates can get you in just as much trouble as you getting caught by the COs, which, I mean, ultimately will lead to you getting caught by COs because they're telling on you. I told this CO, I said, just tell me who it is, and I swear to God, I'm going to go out there and I am going to punish them. I'm going to beat their fucking ass. Tell me who it is. He said, Joe, I can't tell you because I know you're going to go out there. Throughout the course of my investigation, because see, I'm no dummy, and I got along with everybody in this cell block except for this one little punk ass kid. So it didn't take too much common sense for me to figure out who it was who told on me. And it was because of that was festering in my fucking mind. I didn't go out there and fight this kid right there on the spot because I didn't want to get this CO in trouble. This CO literally had just come into the cell block, relayed this information to me. And had I gone out there and fought that kid right there, all I could think was, hey look, this CO actually looked out for me. I don't want to get him in any kind of trouble. But it was maybe the next day or a few days after this, all of this is festering in my mind that not only is this kid a punk ass snitch jumping on cases trying to get other prisoners more time in exchange for a time cut for himself, but he also just did something that could affect me personally by telling on me and trying to expose the only way that I'm able to survive in prison and make any sort of money for myself at this point through this tattooing. He said one slick thing to me, and that was all I needed to light the fuse. I had had enough. I had been in this cell block with this kid for about a year. Almost fisticuffs every single day with this dude. He said that one little smart ass thing to me. I said, motherfucker, go put your shoes on. And when you tell somebody in prison to go put their shoes on, that is fighting words right there. Go put your shoes on, motherfucker, and meet me in your cell. Because I'm not going to fight you in my cell. I'm going to go to your cell where I know you have to come to. And I said this in front of everybody. So now, this kid, he had to fight. Whether he wanted to or not, the entire cell block now knows I'm going to put my shoes on, I'm tying my shoes up right now, and I'm going to go fight your motherfucking ass. And everybody in the cell block knows what my intentions are, so you better be prepared. You better not be a pussy because you're going to get exposed right now if you're not ready to go. I went and tied my shoes up and I went right into his cell. And at this point, he's almost recanting on all of the little dumb shit that he's done over the course of the year. Kind of trying to laugh it off and shit like that. But I had already gone from 0 to 100 real quick. And it was time to do this. He had to come into the cell. And I was not going to talk. I didn't want to hear anything this motherfucker had to say. And as soon as he walked into the cell, he took one step into the cell. Bang! I hit that motherfucker. Boom! Picked him up, boom, dumped him on the floor in his cell, and I proceeded to beat his fucking ass. I proceeded to do to this kid what needed to be done, because while you're in prison, there are times when it's time to fight and it's time to get your ass kicked. Believe me, I've been on the opposite end of this many times. I know when it's time to get your ass kicked because I've had my ass kicked plenty of times. And for once, it was time for me to kick somebody's ass. I beat this kid up. Bang, 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 bang. But somebody literally had to come and grab me and be like, Joe, that's it, it's over, it's over. And I'm still... The arms are steadily swinging. It's just adrenaline. It's just the knowing fact of you are gonna win. You won. You've done it. You've handled this shit. You've done something that needed to be done. Kind of want to fight right now. When it was over with and I had finally came to my senses, I was out of breath. I was exhausted. My hands hurt, and I literally walked right back to my cell, head held high, and I immediately threw up. That's, I don't know why, but that's what happened. Maybe I'd ate something, I don't know. Maybe it was the adrenaline just was too much. I don't know what it was, but I threw up. And then over the intercom, it wasn't somebody pushing the button, telling the fucking officers what had just happened. It was actually the officers broadcasting into the cell block, hey, is everything okay in there? I knew they were talking to me. By this point, I'm outside of the cell and I'm sitting on the table in the day room. And I just look toward the direction of where the guard booth is. And I said, it sure is. And nothing ever came of it. When it was all said and done, I had won. I had literally beaten this kid's ass. And you know what happened afterwards? This kid, he became a real non-combative. He was in the fucking wrong. What he had done had caused what had happened to him. Just as when I was getting my ass kicked the many times that I did get my ass kicked in prison, it was more than likely because I was in the wrong. In another video, we will definitely talk about some major fights that I lost. And believe me, they were ugly. Hey, look, I hope you enjoyed that story of me kicking someone's ass in prison. And if you did, please leave a like and a comment on this video and let me know exactly what you think. As we wrap this up, I want to give some shout outs to some pretty awesome fans and supporters of After Prison Show. And the first person, I literally wrote your name down so I wouldn't forget, is Matthew Ward. Let's go through some comments from my last video and see what we got here. Let's shout out Austin Amend. You should have put a sticker or something with the After Prison Show logo on the canvas you drenched with tattoo ink before you spread it around, so you can take it off and kind of make like a negative logo. Austin Amend, that's a pretty great idea. In the future, I do plan to do more artsy type projects like we just did in that last video. By the way, that scene, it took like an hour to set up and film. I literally dropped my GoPro camera in the middle of that and I thought I almost broke it. Austin Amend, great comment. Weddy the God. This channel deserves at least a solid 1,000,000 subs. I love the show. Ha ha. Greatly appreciate you saying this channel deserves 1,000,000 subscribers. I hope one day we will see that. Let's shout out Big Joe. Big Joe says, nice video, bro. Try Eternal or Intense inks. Mom's does have a great orange ink. Best white is by Dynamic. Big Joe, I love your name. Paradis 12 asks, I think that's how you pronounce the name, Paradis 12. Hey, nice abstract art. Is there any way to practice tattooing without using my leg? Of course there is, Paradis 12. And if you check out my other video, how to learn to tattoo easy, I'm going to show you in that video how you can learn to tattoo easy without using your leg. That's it for the comments and shout outs. Again, hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day. Peace!